Right, hello, this is the new diesel heater with the new 22 to 23 ECU motherboard and controller. Right, let's give it some power. It's showing 4.7 volts. And before right, let's start her up first. And the first stage it will go through, it has to do that test. And it's testing the fan is working okay. See, the glow plug is already lighting up there. So let me light my candle. Okay. Glow plug is lighting up. You can see the glow plug lighting up here. Okay. So once the engine's running, the only thing that keeps it running is this stainless steel piece of gauze here. And it gets that via this little hole here. So the gauze is in there, air comes in through, past the gauze, then the gauze stays alight. So if accidentally you've left this rubber plug half hanging out the casing, it will not pressurize the container. There we go. Pump is already started. Now the pump is now set in 2 tubes of silicone. So the normal pump noise is about 60 decibels. So that's down to 48 decibels now. Okay, you still see the glow plug on. You're still pulling a good 10 amps. It's even picking up the voltage draw of the pump. Okay, so now he thinks he's liked. Got a thermocouple at the top here. We'll start changing its ohms resistance based on the little candle I've put in there. And off we go. We've got a stable 4.8 up here, which is USB voltage. So don't go wiring that 12 volts because it will fry it. Got 5.95 volts of fan speed. The glow plug has just gone out. Amp meter's dropped right down. Now what it's doing is trying to get it as hot as possible, similar to like your Mercedes or whatever when you start it up in the cold and it goes the whole length of the road in first gear. Yeah, because it doesn't want to change, it wants to get the engine warm. Alright, let's bring that fan speed down. Only a throttle. Right, let's drop it down to number 1. But even though I've set it on number 1, it's still on its warm-up stage. So it's gone, no, I'm not going to do that yet because I've not got the right signal of heat from the outside of the casing. Okay. So that 10 amps you saw being drawn all goes through this tiny little relay here, which is underneath there. It's the shortest distance, so it has less travel. It doesn't want to put it at the other end of the board, otherwise it's got 10 amps through the whole board. As you can see, that's a little relay there. So all it's doing is travelling from there to there. Eventually that will slow down. Here we go. I think. No, it's still chugging away. So that pump that's set in silicone really does quieten it down. The wires, you can see, this is the original loom. So what I've done, you need to get a Bosch male pigtail wire and a female Bosch pigtail wire. And that way you don't bugger up your loom if the pump fails. These are only fibres, so if the pump fails, who cares? Just throw the whole lot away. But still going. This has just suddenly changed from 12 degrees to 14 degrees, indicating it has registered the heat from the candle to the thermocouple on the top. Okay, we're dropping down to 6 volts on the fan speed. We've got virtually zero draw once it's running. What else can I tell you? Okay, when you're clearing the fault codes, we've all done it. You disconnect the live or pull the fuse out, do something, change a part and put it all back together, and it's still got the same problem. And the reason for that is because it hasn't got a CAN bus system, which means every terminal or every part of it has got 3 wires. It hasn't. It's got 2 wires there. Yeah? 2 wires to the pump, 2 wires to the thermocouple. And on a CAN bus system like you have on a car, it has 3. So the 3 is like the prefect that goes back and tells the teacher, something wrong. But this hasn't got it. So if it develops a fault, the only way it can show you the fault is by sending it back through the earth. So if you disconnect the live, you will still keep the fault held in these microchips. Does that make sense to you? So all you have to do, if you've got a fault, trip out the earth, leave it for 5 minutes, let the chips drain, and it'll be fine. You put it all back together and it works, and you go, well, why is that? Doesn't make sense. Well, it's because you've allowed the chips to drain, that's why. It took me a while to work this little puzzle out. As you can hear, that pump is pretty quiet. Alright, let me get the camera a little bit closer now. Come here. So let's have a look what's going on in here. Okay, you can see there the short little distance between the black and the red to the left hand side. That is the heater button, so it doesn't travel far across the bolt. Down the end, these two here, that one and that one, they're for the fan. Now you ask, does the Hall sensor actually work? It's got 2 magnets all set 180 degrees apart, and yes, it does. If I pinch the top, pull the board up, all of a sudden the fan speed does really change. Alright, what else can I show you? Now, if your missus is worried about, oh, I don't want diesel in the house, well, to be honest, she's not getting diesel in the house, because if you've got the exhaust pipe outside, there is no heat coming in the house. Let me show you the fan working. So that's my vape. So you've got the heat exchanger on the end here. All it's doing is putting the heat across the heat exchanger into your room. A little fan running on the end here is what's actually blowing down the chamber with the diesel, then out the exhaust. So the more silencers you put on the end of the exhaust, the more back pressure you give it, and the more you'll have to decoke it, because it hasn't got a piston going up and down to push it out. Pretty simple really. So if you just use a bigger bore pipe like I've used on mine, a big bore pipe running down from your exhaust, no sharp bends. I hope that helps you. And get a bit closer to that pump. I don't know if you can still hear it ticking, you should be able to. Okay folks, bye for now.